Hello guys, today I have a pretty interesting video for you I think, but also pretty useless. It's different from my regular videos anyways. So yeah, you can see it right here. It's something on Redstoner, something I made quite a while ago. And yeah, sancarn needed it, but he never made a video of it yet. At least he might in the future, but I'm not sure. So basically he had the idea of making like his ultimate minecart system, you know. So normally when you do a minecart system in your world, it will be pretty chaotic with wires running everywhere. So he basically thought of making a clean network. So in that network you would have nodes, and that's basically what this thing is. And it can basically, it's just a intersection for data, so it can then travel in any of the three other directions than it came from. So let's say, so it differentiates on based on the length of the pulse. So if we give the 2-tick input, it will go to the right basically, and it will just set up this node for the right, but it won't actually continue that pulse because that pulse is not needed to go to the right. So if we would set it up to go to the right and then give it a signal like a power, as you can see it goes to the right here, and these ones are still not being powered. So that way we could then send like another 2-tick, and that would go to the node next to the right to it, and that will then select a different direction again. So that way, by pulsing the wire with different signal lengths, you can basically connect the nodes up in a certain pattern. So just to show you, if you do this, it will reset after a bit. There we go. And then if we now send it a 3-tick pulse and power it afterwards, you can see this one did not turn on, but instead this one turned on. And then if we disconnect it again and let it reset there, and then send another pulse but 4 ticks and now power it, you can see the left one on. So yeah, it works perfectly. And yeah, it works from any direction basically. So these wires would be connected with two-way wire. So in this thing I use two-way instant wire, but it doesn't need to be instant wire. So yeah, if we would now take a repeater and do the same from this side and give the 2-tick pulse and then power it, as you can see it goes to the right. So from the point you power it from, 2 ticks is right, 3 ticks is forward, and 4 ticks is left. So it works pretty perfectly, and it does quite a lot for this size. Like, it's pretty complex to decode that information, but I found a really nice way of doing it. So I will now just rebuild the core of it and show it to you, and afterwards I guess I will show this thing, because basically it's this data thingy, but then with rails on top of it that can switch tracks, and it basically switches tracks in such a way that it will redirect the minecart in the same direction as you redirected information basically. So yeah, let me rebuild that stuff. So it turns out that I didn't have to rebuild it because it's still on sancarn's plot. So yeah, this is the core machine. It's pretty small. So basically this right here would be your input wire, and up here this thing is the decoder. So the first time when this signal is still being blocked off, the input signal would not go into this part, because yeah, as you can see it's blocked off, but it would instead go upwards into this part. So as you can see, we here have 2, 3 and 4 ticks. So let's say we give the 2-tick. As you can see, this block spits out, and then after that we would spit out the block from the direction it came from as well, with some just straight wire into it pretty much. And as you can see now, there is a connection between this position and this position, and then afterwards, after a certain time that no signal passed through this wire, it will reset these both, or actually all 4 of them will reset. So then if we would send a 3-tick to, as you can see, this piston did pulse, but it's longer than a 2-tick, or longer than 1 tick, so it didn't spit out, but this one was exactly 1 tick, so it let the signal through, and as you can see now we have a straight connection. Then if we would give it a 4 tick, you can see we have it going to the left here. So in a nice circle, that's the way it works, so it's the same for every side, and the mechanism is actually really simple. So basically what we have here is we have this going down here and going up here, so it will turn off the torch after 1 tick. So after 1 tick of delay, this piston will retract, connecting this dust and this dust right here. So yeah, 1 tick, it turns on this dust after 1 tick, but it will turn off instantly. So let's say it's a 2 tick, it will go to here, it will turn on after 1 tick and then turn off instantly, making a 1 tick at this position right here, which is also connected with this piston right here, so it will 1 tick that piston. Now let's say we give it a 2 tick, a 3 tick, it will go through here, after 1 tick it will reach this, then this, yeah, so this will pull up after 1 tick, it will reach this, then after 1 tick more, this will also turn off, and then it will reach this, and at that moment it will turn off, which means that this piston will get a 1 tick pulse, but this piston right here will receive a 2 tick pulse, so it won't spit out. And yeah, that basically applies for this direction as well, so this will then get a 2 tick pulse and this a 3 tick pulse. So it basically shortens the pulse in a circle, and yeah, just by taking a delay on the rising, but basically make the falling instant. So yeah, it's pretty easy wiring, and the basics is really simple, but it's pretty powerful as it will work from any direction, and it's a really nice way to decode it. Like if you, yeah, right here, this was actually sancarn's second version of doing the same thing, but then for 3 directions. So as you can see, if you have a yeah, not such a nice system I guess, but just chaotic wiring, it will get pretty yeah, as I said, chaotic I guess. So yeah, and this is only for 3 directions, which in theory is enough, but this is for 4 directions, so I guess it's even more useful. Of course you can just split up 4 directions into two nodes of 3 directions, but yeah, so then you just build in some extra circuitry around it, and you will end up with this thing that handles the reset, and this one also handles the tracks above here. So let's take a look at, I guess, the finished product somewhat. So here you can see the huge grid basically, and here we have them connected using two-way instant wire. I made a video about this design a while ago already. So they are all connected, and then the rails will switch in such a way that yeah, the minecart will be redirected in the same way as the data down there would be. So then to get those 2, 3 and 4 ticks, we used this thing, which basically is a like hopper ROM reader, but data is stored in these minecarts above, so we can have multiple different sets of data stored in a relatively small way. And instead of just being on or off, it has 3 states, so right, straight and left, and those correspond with the item lengths, or the pulse lengths I mean. So this one is kind of random. I didn't yeah, program this one too well, just put in some random directions. So let's see what comes out. So as you can see, that one lights up, and right, there, 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 there. It's hard to follow because it's somewhat laggy as well. So yeah, these data lines, as you can see there, there's one on, basically yeah, connect them like that and fire in that sequence. So then if we would send a minecart, it will travel exactly the same path, so it basically stores the information. yeah, if you would not just have a huge grid, but have actually just a few of these nodes placed at places in your world that would make sense, you could make a pretty cool clean minecart system. But yeah, this method still has some flaws, so I guess that's why sancarn didn't make video of it yet. But I think it's pretty cool. So this is another one which should be programmed correctly, or that I really try to make this loop thing. And if you look down there, you can actually see the data lines trigger. Right here, it's, yeah, as I said, because of lag it's pretty hard to see, and I think it's done already. But yeah, so now if we would put some minecart on here again, you can see that it exactly follows the path that I programmed it to. So yeah, as I said, it's probably not too useful in your real world survival or something, but I thought it was pretty interesting, and I am really happy of how simple I actually got these nodes to be, because yeah, it does quite a lot for the size, and relatively fast as well. So yeah, this is exactly what I programmed. There you can see the old one of a recording I did before. So I hope you didn't think this was too boring. If you want to check this out yourself, although unless I'm online you can probably not see it operating, as I most of the time have these buttons not here, because like this machine down here can fail, and if then somebody presses the button again it will screw up pretty bad. But if I'm online, you can come check this out. It is at my second plot, so plot me h colon thingy 2, or not plot me h to the gunmaster, of course. So yeah, here you have the little components as well. Like just two separate wires connecting into a two-way wire down here, or just a plain straight two-way wire, or a instant two-way wire, just whatever you would like. Then here the storage for minecarts. They will automatically find the closest spot to store themselves in, and if it's occupied it will bounce off and go to the next spot. Here the data reader, which Theo helped me with. Actually there should be a piston right here, I think, but well, and then here the main node, I guess, or at least I'm fairly certain sancarn called these things nodes. And then here the same nodes but with some extra redstone on top to connect these rails. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and see you all later. Bye.